It is the conference championship round of the NFL playoffs, and here are my predictions for this week. But first, how did I do in the divisional round? In my predictions for the divisional round, I was 3-1. And this week we have two great matchups. First, in the AFC Championship game, we have the 11-6 Chiefs versus the 13-4 Ravens. The Chiefs are coming off a 27-24 win over the Bills and have now beaten the Bills 3 out of the last 4 years in the playoffs. In that game, Patrick Mahomes completed 17 of 23 passes for 215 yards and 2 touchdowns. Isaiah Pacheco had 15 carries for 97 yards and a touchdown, and Travis Kelce had 5 receptions for 75 yards and 2 touchdowns. And for the Bills, Josh Allen completed 26 of 39 passes for 186 yards and a touchdown, and he ran for 72 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. Also, James Cook had 18 carries for 61 yards rushing. This was a very close game and had a lot of lead changes. After the first quarter, it was tied 3-3. Then the Bills in the second quarter scored a touchdown. Then the Chiefs kicked a field goal and scored a touchdown and went up 13-10. And with 26 seconds left in the second quarter, Josh Allen ran for a 2-yard touchdown and took the lead 17-13 going into halftime. Then in the third quarter, Travis Kelce caught a 3-yard pass from Patrick Mahomes for a touchdown to go up 20-17. And with 3 minutes and 23 seconds left in the third, Josh Allen completed a 13-yard pass to Khalil Shakir for a 13-yard touchdown. And the Bills went up 24-20. Then with 14:20 left in the fourth quarter, Isaiah Pacheco ran for a 4-yard touchdown. With a minute 47 seconds left in the fourth quarter, Tyler Bass missed a 44-yard field goal that would have tied the game. And for the Ravens, they blew out the Texans 34-10. CJ Stroud completed 19 of 33 passes for 175 yards, and Nico Collins had 5 receptions for 68 yards. But the Texans could not get their run game going at all, having only 38 yards rushing. And for the Ravens, Lamar Jackson was 16 of 22 for 152 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he had 11 carries for 100 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. And the Ravens combined for 229 yards rushing. This was a very close game in the first half, being tied 10-10 at halftime, but the Ravens would go on to shut out the Texans and score 24 unanswered points in the second half. But this should be a great game. This season, the Ravens have pretty much been the best team in the NFL, and Patrick Mahomes always plays great in the playoffs. So far in his career, Patrick Mahomes is 13-3 in the playoffs with 4,561 yards, 38 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. And for Lamar Jackson, so far in his career, he is 2-3 in the playoffs with 1,052 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. But he has also rushed for 467 yards and had 3 rushing touchdowns. And I think the Chiefs are going to win. In the NFC Championship game, we have the 12-5 Lions versus the 12-5 49ers. The Lions are coming off a 31-23 win over the Buccaneers. In that game, Baker Mayfield completed 26 of 41 passes for 349 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. And Mike Evans had 8 receptions for 147 yards and a touchdown. For the Lions, Jared Goff completed 30 of 43 passes for 287 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs had 9 carries for 74 yards and a touchdown. And Amon-Ra St. Brown had 8 receptions for 77 yards and a touchdown. And on the Lions defense, Aiden Hutchinson had another great game with 4 tackles, 1 sack, and 3 QB hits, and now has 3 sacks on this postseason. But this was also a very close game, being tied 10-10 at halftime. Then each team scored a touchdown in the third quarter to be tied 17-17. Then in the fourth quarter, the Lions scored 2 unanswered touchdowns to go up 31-17. And with 4 minutes and 37 seconds left, Baker Mayfield threw a 16-yard touchdown to Mike Evans. And for some reason, they went for 2, and it was no good. And on the final drive of the game, for the Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield threw an interception with 1:35 left in the fourth. And for the 49ers, they won 24-21 against the Packers. In that game, Jordan Love completed 21 of 34 passes for 194 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Aaron Jones had 108 yards rushing, and Romeo Doubs had 4 receptions for 83 yards. And for the 49ers, Brock Purdy completed 23 of 39 passes for 252 yards and a touchdown. Christian McCaffrey had 17 carries for 98 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns, and had 7 receptions for 30 receiving yards. And late in this game, it looked like the Packers were going to win, but with 6 minutes and 21 seconds left in the fourth quarter, the Packers missed a field goal, and the 49ers drove down the field and scored a touchdown with 1 minute and 7 seconds left. And Jordan Love threw an interception with 52 seconds left in the game. This is the second time the Lions have ever made the NFC Championship game. The last time was 1991, and they lost 41-10 to Washington. And this will be the 49ers' 4th NFC Championship game in the last 5 years. But I think the Lions are going to win. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. Goodbye.